Good morning. I'm the Reverend Julie Golding Page from St. Patrick's Anglican Church. This month, our radio devotionals, sponsored by the Hudson Bay Ministerial, are from the world of sports. They're available in video form at plaideggnog.blogspot.com. Today, we'll talk more about baseball and its parallels to the life of faith. My favorite pitcher to watch is New York Mets starter RADickey. He throws a strange pitch called a knuckleball, and it's so unpredictable that nobody knows exactly how it's going to spin or where it's going to land. Even the catcher is never sure where it's going, and he has to be really on his toes if he's going to catch it. That very unpredictability makes the knuckleball a very hard pitch to hit, too, so it's a real advantage for the pitcher and for his team. In one game this June, the Mets were playing against the New York Yankees. Despite being from the same city, these teams don't meet very often since the Mets are in the National League and the Yankees are in the American League, so they don't really know each other's techniques very well. Well, that was pretty obvious when the Yankees superstar Derek Jeter came to the plate to face the Mets pitcher RADickey. Jeter was so surprised by the crazy way the knuckleball pitches flew toward him that he ended up striking out. Afterwards, he shook his head in disbelief, as if to say, "What on earth was that?" Well, now 37, and having perfected his knuckleball, Dickey's become quite a star himself in the major leagues. With his total of 44 1/3 innings without an earned run this June, he blew the previous Mets pitching record of 31 2/3 innings right out of the water. He also became the first pitcher since the Blue Jays' Dave Stieb in 1988 to throw 2 consecutive one-hitters. And he's tied several other records this year, too. All of this is very impressive for any pitcher, but especially for a knuckleballer. Because if you're a knuckleballer, chances are you were pretty much a failure with regular pitches. Like a fastball, for example. And Dickey is no exception to this rule. He was drafted in the first round by the Texas Rangers in 1996 and offered $810,000 as a signing bonus, which got reduced to a paltry $75,000 when it was discovered that he was missing a crucial ligament in his elbow. It didn't get much better after that for Dickey either, because he proved to be a pretty ho-hum pitcher for many years, going back and forth between the majors and the minors, until he decided nearly 9 years later to work more on a weird pitch that he called the thing. Well, that thing turned out to be a knuckleball, and this unique gift propelled him to become the excellent pitcher he is today, someone invaluable to his team. Like RADickey, all of us have at least one unique gift, and probably several, to share with the other players on God's team called the church. In 1 Corinthians chapter 12, we read, "God's various gifts are handed out everywhere, but they all originate in God's Spirit. God's various ministries are carried out everywhere, but they all originate in God's Spirit. Each person is given something to do that shows who God is. Everyone gets in on it, and everyone benefits." For some, that unique gift is giving an encouraging word at the right time. For others, it's getting up and leading a service. For still others, it's an artistic talent, making beautiful things with cloth, wood, or photography, and inspiring other people to say thank you to God for the beauty He's made. For still others, it's organizing events to help their church or to help people around the world. And for still others, it's simply being present when someone needs a friend. Words aren't always needed. Well, what might your particular unique gifts be? Like RADickey, you might wonder if you even have a unique gift. He found his particular talent, though, by joining a team. In fact, it wouldn't make much sense at all for him to be a pitcher if he didn't have a team behind him. Likewise, we find our own gifts and talents from God thrive most when we're part of His team, the church. Other members help us to discover what our gifts are, and they encourage us to develop them more. Why not become part of God's team by getting together with one of His franchises, our local churches, this Sunday? For St. Patrick's Anglican Church, I'm Julie Golding Page.